So we all know who MrBeast is. He's the biggest content creator to ever touch the internet. He has over 300 million subscribers and does over 100 million views per video. And we all know that he's been super family friendly throughout the entire course of his career. And more importantly, he's helped thousands of people all across the world. But I'm sure there's at least one of these people who he regrets ever even coming across, because he's literally the sole reason why this woman would end up becoming one of the biggest OF creators on the entire internet. But who exactly is this woman, and what did MrBeast have to do with any of this? Well, that's probably why you're here. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the trap house with the biggest trapper. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into when MrBeast helps you start your OF career. Okay, so to start, I'm sure all of you are familiar with the popular Netflix show that came out about 3 years ago that went by the name of Squid Game. It's a show where multiple people have to compete in different challenges in order to live, and it ended up becoming one of the most popular Netflix shows to ever release. And the entire concept of this show was literally perfect for a MrBeast video. It's almost as if it was meant to be. So of course, this would lead to MrBeast developing an entire set and inviting over 450 people to compete in the same exact challenges that the people had to complete in the show Squid Game. And this video would be titled $456,000 Squid Game in Real Life. And because of how popular MrBeast is and how popular the show Squid Game was at the time, this video ended up being a massive success, accumulating over 768 million views, which would end up becoming the most popular video on MrBeast's channel. But even though this video featured over 450 people, there was one standout person in this video, and it wasn't even the winner of the challenge. Amongst the 456 total players, there was a contestant known as Player 067 or Camila Arujo, and she quickly became the highlight of this entire video just because people found that she was rather attractive. And this led to people all over social media like standing her and begging for her at, just completely thirsting over this random girl that nobody knew at the time. Like literally, if you go back and watch the original MrBeast video, the most rewind part of it is when she got eliminated, and that's insane for a video that has over 700 million views. And like I said, at the time this video went viral, nobody in the world really knew who she was, but I put so much effort into my videos that I managed to go through all 6,000 of her Instagram posts to find out that she was part of a modeling agency even prior to doing the MrBeast video. And she was already posting like a lot of thirst traps even before doing the video with MrBeast. So it was pretty clear where this pipeline was going to end up going. Even someone in her comments over 170 weeks ago told her to make a OF she'll get so rich, and unfortunately he ended up being right, but we're not really there yet. Now weirdly enough, she posted a TikTok within the same house that was featured in an earlier MrBeast video like a week before the Squid Games video was even posted.
This is my favorite room in the whole house. Look at this.
Look at this shower.
Look at this pool.
Now, it has been recently rumored that most of the contestants within MrBeast's videos are usually either friends or family members of his employees, so that would make sense how she even had access to be in the same house that was used in this video, but that's another story for a whole nother time. Anyways, in November of 2021, around the same time she was going viral all over social media, she ended up making a Twitter page this same month, and she will also even start blowing up on TikTok as well, even posting a TikTok on the same exact day that MrBeast dropped the actual Squid Game video, saying that if the TikTok blew up, she would post a behind the scenes video of what really happened. And she got exactly what she wanted, because this TikTok definitely blew up and accumulated over 10 million views, and this will be the start of one of MrBeast's worst mistakes. So she posted her first ever YouTube video on December 1st, 2021, and this video was titled I Am 067 from MrBeast Squid Games IRL, and the video is now private on her channel, but I did find a TikTok of her posting about the video, and she only had about 2,000 subscribers at this time as well. And after this, she continued posting regular content to all of her socials, mainly just normal TikToks that most people would post at the time, and she also just continued posting the type of pictures on IG she was already posting, but there was never really any signs of anything more than that. It seemed like she was really going to try to capitalize off of this whole MrBeast Squid Games thing, but she ended up taking multiple breaks from the internet throughout 2021 and 22. But in in like July of 2022, she did decide to give content one more try, and she would start doing short form content like TikTok, IG Reels, and things like that. And this content included her just chugging a quote unquote random stranger's beer and also eating a random stranger's food. And I'm 99% sure these videos were definitely either faked or staged, but at least she did try to make a name for herself before taking another break away from social media. And no one really heard from her until she returned yet again in the beginning of 2023, and this time her life would be completely different. On February 2nd, 2023, she would post her first ever TikTok promoting her OF account, stating that if everyone who saw this post went and subscribed to her account, she could pay off her college debt and pay off her parents' house as well. And even though she got clowned for posting this at first, this TikTok would be the beginning of her life completely changing. 2 months later, in April of 2023, she began doing public interview styles of content where she would just walk up to random people and usually ask them some form of like a freaky question. And all of this was really just a way to drive traffic over to her OF. And she continued doing this for a while, which really helped her scale all of her social media pages. And by this point, she was pretty much done with the fame that she had accumulated 2 years prior being in the MrBeast video. She didn't really mention it much at all. It was only really mentioned in some of her comments from people who already knew her from that. In fact, she really didn't mention MrBeast up until like June of 2023 when she would start collabing with a YouTuber who goes by the name of Jack Doherty. Now you guys know Jack Doherty is one of the most hated YouTubers on the entire internet for various reasons, and one of those reasons is because he'll do anything to get views and clout. So when him and Camilla first started collabing, of course the main thing Jack Doherty was doing was finding a way to incorporate MrBeast products into these videos in order to remind everyone that this is the girl from the viral MrBeast video 2 years ago. And because Jack Doherty is basically a genius when it comes to being like an OF pimp, this would lead to Camilla moving into Jack Doherty's house where he had multiple other girls who did OF staying as well. And not only were these women also staying here, they were doing the same exact content as Camilla was doing while also getting managed by Jack as well. Jack made the same type of content with all of the women within his house, and this was basically just a way to promote their OFs to his mostly child audience, helping them make money and grow their social media platforms while also making a bunch of money himself. And when Camilla started hanging around Jack, it was clear that she started picking up a lot of his bad habits of doing anything to get views and clout, because this will ultimately lead to her using her own 15-year-old little brother to help promote her OF as well. This all really started when she faked the video with him being like the main character of the video, where she walked up to him and told him not to say anything and he would win like a prize. And after this, she would continue putting him in videos over the entire course of her career, where they would either directly discuss her OF, he would mention her having an OF, or he would just end up asking her a completely weird question for a brother to ask his sister.
And what do they mean if it's pink?
Dude, I told you.
Don't hit me with the car.
Bro, I don't know what I have to tell you, but
You're hiding something, clearly.
I'm not hiding anything.
Say that shit with a straight face.
It is my Audi R8.
No, it's not. You have a pink. Okay, there's so many things that's pink. Literally, look. There's so much shit that's pink that it can't just be your Audi R8.
Now, after most of these videos went viral containing her and her brother, even Jack would start using her little brother in these videos as well, because he's seen how viral they were going on social media. So after 6 months of doing this style of content with Jack, the other women in the house, and her brother, she ended up accumulating over 2 million subscribers on YouTube by the end of 2023. And since the type of content that they were making were mostly short form content such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, obviously a vast majority of their fan base would be nothing but kids, because those are the people who consume that type of content the most. Obviously they're impressionable, and it's just way easier to capture a kid's attention with short form content. And this would lead to Camilla even beginning to do short form content with a little girl who claimed to be her biggest fan. And this was honestly very sick, because even though the content she was doing seemed very wholesome, it was clear that she was still using these videos to help promote her OF as well, even asking the little girl what does she think she does for a living.
What do you think? What's my job? A YouTuber.
And obviously there's various other reasons of why it was just flat out weird to even include this child within her content, such as her probably having a bunch of weirdos who follow her and things like that. It was just something that really shouldn't have been done at all. But in January of 2024, Camilla decided that it was time to venture off into a new form of content. So she decided to switch it up a little bit and began doing live streams. Now these live streams were set up usually like a podcast style, but usually in the viral clips that she posted from these streams, it was normally just her and her brother, and the chat would end up donating something crazy through text to speech, and the brother would play dumb and give like a weird reaction, and she would end up posting these clips to all of her social medias, and it would really end up taking her career to the completely next level. She scaled this from being just a live stream type of vibe that was just her and her brother into a legitimate podcast where she interviewed various people from all across the internet, including some of the top OF models in the world as well. So this led to a massive growth in all of her social media platforms, helping her accumulate over 3.5 million followers on Instagram, 9.2 million subscribers on YouTube, and over 8.7 million followers on TikTok, combining for a total of over 20 million followers on all major platforms. So because of all of that newfound social media success that she had so quickly, this will lead to her recently venturing off into another new chapter of her life, where her and a bunch of the other top OF creators in the world, such as Sophie Rain, will move into their own version of a content house that I've talked about before on this channel, known as the Bop House. And apparently all of the bops in this house are making some serious money on the internet. So it's clear that Camilla definitely came a long way from being in the MrBeast Squid Game video, but it's to a point where it's like, at what cost? She gained all of this success in multiple controversial ways, and even up till this day that I'm making the video, she still uses her little brother in her videos to promote her OF. And it's crazy for me to even think that a creator like MrBeast was literally the start of all of this. It's really a crazy pipeline, because if he never invited her onto his Squid Game video, none of this literally would have happened at all. But I highly doubt that he even expected her career to pan out anything like this. But that's just my personal opinion. As always, the only opinion that really matters to me is you guys' opinion. So comment down below, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you think that Camilla would have ended up being this successful if it wasn't for the MrBeast video? And let me know what you think about her entire journey to the success that she's managed to achieve. Let me know down below, and while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join me on my journey to 15K. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, be sure to give me a thumbs down. As always, any feedback is good feedback to me. And as you guys know, I appreciate all of the love and support. And I'll catch you boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.